Hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo Podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Jemma, and joining me once again this week for our second last show of 2025 is my excellent friend Kirk. Welcome back, Kirk.
Hello, everybody, and happy. Let's see, Hanukkah's going on right now, so happy Hanukkah and
Yes, and
Merry
happy
Christmas
Merry
just
Christmas.
ahead.
Yeah, just ahead. I know it's only a few days away from the launch of this show. It is Christmas week. We're going to talk about some Christmas, maybe traditions. I don't know. I haven't really fleshed this out yet, so I'm going to ask your opinion on that soon. But definitely, we've got some sales and some cool news items. Lots of fun stuff to talk about, and the games we're playing at the moment. I'm really looking forward to this show for some reason. I don't even know why. It's not like we had a direct or anything, but I just feel like there's just a nice little group of things to discuss. But I did want to start with Christmas just because it is holiday season. Was there anything like any kind of, particularly gaming, I suppose, but any kind of traditions that you have in your family? Anything that you, and then, after that, of course, anything you're playing on the holidays because we get a little bit of time off work. I know one game you're definitely playing, which you've mentioned in the past, but do you have any kind of Christmas traditions that you wanted to share?
As far as gaming goes, nope,
Nope. Okay.
no. We do have, and I think we mentioned this before. New Year's Eve, we will
Mhm.
spend 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on when we get started, up to when the ball drops, and for some reason we have to pause the game and watch that. We will play family games with whatever family members are at the house. So we do that every
Nice.
New Year's. However, we there's no lead up for Christmas for that.
Yeah, okay. That's alright. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I
That's still a
think because
tradition.
there are enough Christmas specials. There are enough Christmas shows on TV that
Yeah,
we'll watch those instead of playing games.
that's true, and we do a lot of that too. Yeah, we've already started watching some of the classics, and we probably it's similar to you actually, it's more of a New Year's thing, but it could be a Christmas thing, depends how we feel, but definitely a New Year's thing where we play Mario Kart, as a family before in the lead up to the New Year, to midnight or whatever, but we just run through as many courses. We try to get through all the courses, which was really hard in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because there are so many courses with the DLC, right? So we never made
Yeah,
it through all of them.
yeah.
We used to make it through when it was just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, without the DLC. And then with Mario Kart World, we should be able to. This will be the first year we've had this one, of course. So I think we'll be able to run through those. Maybe we'll do all of the free. What do you call it? Oh gosh, I've lost the name of it. But we'll do all of one of the modes, kind of thing. Like the one with the checkpoints. We might do all of those in one sitting, which is really fun. So that'll be a bit of a new tradition crossed with an old tradition. But yeah, I was thinking about whether there's any Christmas themed games to play because I think every year I have a look and there's like an advent calendar type of game or there's something random that I never really get to try. And there was a game I just noticed. Well, okay, there was an email from is it Rataleka Games? I don't know how to pronounce that actually. Rataleka, that group?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. They make
Yeah.
the mostly like throwback games. I think you're right. I think that's the right pronunciation.
Yeah, well, they offered us codes for a Christmas themed game, which I accepted in the hopes they would be able to talk about it on this week's show. Unfortunately, the code they sent me didn't work in time, and I emailed them and said, "Hey, the code's not working." But it's basically looks like Vampire Survivors with Santa as the protagonist,
Okay.
so which we all know I love Vampire Survivor. So I will
What's he attacking? What is he
I
defending
don't
himself
know.
from?
It looks like in the trailer, and I could be wrong when now that I'm talking about it, and you'll see it if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the trailer. It looks like presents and like snowmen and things, I think, that are attacking him. So yeah, it looks and the thing is it's got a really funny name. It's called Big Trouble in Little Chimney.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's a
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a good reference that will be lost on many people of the younger
Yes,
generation, I think.
absolutely. Yes, I agree. So I got it. I know it's a movie, Big Trouble in Little China. I think it was
Great movie.
Kurt Russell, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. So yeah, so hopefully I'll get to play that during the week and maybe I'll talk about it next week. But next week is going to be our big Game of the Year show. So I don't know if I'll have time to talk about a little Christmas game, unfortunately. But that's the game I had hoped to play. But I'll still review it. I'll still give it a review and I'll play it before Christmas, which will still feel somewhat
Yeah.
holiday-ish. So that'll be nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Any Christmas games that you've noticed or anything else seasonal that you wanted to mention?
Well, there's one I'll talk about with the caveat that I haven't played it, and I won't because by and large, and since the dawn of video games, Christmas games have been terrible.
Yes.
Um,
Yes,
th-
this is the thing, yep.
they're all quick cash-ins. I don't think
Mm,
there's ever been a good game centered around Christmas. I could
mhm.
be wrong, and if I am, please tell us. But I do know that Game Mill, of course, released a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer game back in September of this year,
Mm,
which we didn't play, we didn't review. So I don't know if it's any good. But Rudolph, of course, is the seminal classic of
yes.
holiday entertainment, and visually they did get the look right. I'm looking at the screen captures here in the eShop,
Cool.
and all the characters have like a nice sort of like felt look to them. So I don't know if you're fans of the show or if you got youngsters who watched it and want to dig a little bit deeper. Now here's your opportunity, and it's currently on sale.
Oh, nice. Well, that makes sense. Is it called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Is it that one?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, it's half price. That's pretty
yep,
good. I mean, it's in Australia, it's $60 normally. That's a lot for a Christmas game, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm assuming that's because of the name. Um,
Yeah, probably.
as opposed to the content. But yeah, I could be wrong. Check
Mm,
it out.
so
Let me
so it's
know. Somebody.
inspired by the animated '60s classic.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
that's
lot of
kinda
the same
neat.
characters. Hermie the elf is here. What's the snowman's name? He was played by Burl Ives. I can't remember his name.
I don't know,
Um,
actually. I don't know that I've seen the original,
the
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 classic.
Bumble or whatever that was, and Yukon Cornelius. Yeah, everybody's here.
Oh, that's kinda cool. So strange they would release it months before Christmas, but anyway.
Right. Yeah.
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 But a sale is good, so maybe that will, I don't know, encourage sales or something. But yeah, let us know if you've heard of this game or played it or have any Christmas game recommendations. We'd love to hear them. But yeah, so let's well, part of this is part of, I guess, the season is that there's always like a winter sale on the eShop. And there is one on right now, which is definitely worth mentioning because there are quite a few games on sale that are worth checking out, I would say. And I don't know if you have any recommendations, Kirk, but I certainly found a few. Did anything stand out to you?
Well, let's see. I looking through it, I thought there are a lot of opportunities here to hop onto games that have new releases coming out.
Mm, mhm.
There is a lot of Resident Evil on sale here,
Yes,
just in
yes.
time for the holidays. In
Yes.
fact, there's more Resident Evil here than I even knew was available on the Switch. Um,
Yes, I know,
yeah,
right? Yep.
or as low as $10.
Mhm.
Actually, it goes even lower than that. Revelations is only 8.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, And
Wow.
like, Monster Hunter, we've got a new Monster Hunter coming, and
Mhm.
there those games are in there. So, yeah, I think that's what I would look at. If you didn't get a chance to play anything that has something on the horizon, this is your chance to catch up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And even, and I guess Capcom in general is on sale because they've got Street Fighter 6, for example, which, was a launch title for the Switch 2. $20 for Street Fighter 6, I think, is a terrific price. If you are on the fence about that one, I would highly recommend it. If you're a Street Fighter fan, definitely worth your while. You can check my review out on the website as well. I reviewed it at the time. Mega Man as well. Mega Man was
Mhm.
announced, and that's not out until 2027, the new Mega Man. But if you were inspired by that announcement, that recent announcement for Mega Man, a lot of those titles, I think all of those as well. And again, like you, I'm looking at the list of Mega Man, like like Resident Evil, and I'm thinking, I did not know there were this many Mega Man games or compilations. There's a lot. There are so many, which is really cool. But yeah, a lot of new stuff as well. Like apart from Street Fighter 6, there's Hades 2 is on special. It's 25% off, and Hades 1 as well, which is actually 70% off, which is you should definitely get this. Get Hades 1. I mean, it's only $25 to begin with, and now it's $7.50, which seems like nothing. Hades 2 is normally 30 and it's 22.49 currently. Both excellent games, highly recommended if you like those kind of roguelike action games. But it has a really good look and the graphics are amazing, the soundtrack's amazing. Definitely worth checking out, especially Hades 2, just because it is a recent one and, was nominated for several awards recently in the Game of the Year sort of side of things. But yeah, check it out because there is a lot. I picked up Red Dead Redemption which is on sale.
Oh,
I'm gonna talk a little
yep.
bit about that later because that's the game that I'm playing. And I noticed Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 were also on special. What else did I notice? I think it was even Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD might have been on sale. I think I saw that somewhere as well, which is pretty neat, and I'm like, I don't know how I could find time to play all these games. I really wanted to pick up Octopath Traveler 2, for example, and, definitely Dragon Quest 1 and 2, I've mentioned that before. So, if I do pick them up, though, they'll just sit on my backlog for a little while, unfortunately. But maybe I should get them while they're on special. I don't know. What do you think? Should I?
I think you should do it.
I think I should too.
You
Yeah.
should. I may be picking up one too because at the Game Awards, you may have seen that Larry announced a new Divinity game
Mm,
is
mhm,
going to be coming out. And who knows, it takes them a long time to release games, so it may be a while. But
mhm,
Divinity Original Sin 2 for the Nintendo Switch, which was just, I think last week, updated for Nintendo Switch 2, is
mm.
part of the sale, and it's only $25 right now. It's normally 50. So
Wow.
I may be
Yeah.
picking that one up and then playing it with Sam. I don't know if it has cross-platform compatibility. He's already got it on his PC.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, okay. And I wonder, is the Switch 2 version of that just an upgrade? Or is it, like a free upgrade? Do you know what I mean?
yes, if
Or is it,
you, in
yeah.
fact, it was funny because when the Switch 2 version first came out, it was $50, and the Switch version was on sale for 25 with a
Mhm.
free upgrade to the Switch
Yeah.
2 version.
Right.
So a little bit of a disconnect there. But now the Switch 2 version is $25 also.
Yeah, which is awesome. That's a great
Yep.
price. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Red Dead Redemption was a bit the same. I noticed in the US, the prices are the same for Switch 1 and 2. For some reason in Australia, they're slightly different, like $2 difference. So, they're both on sale, and Switch 1 is cheaper slightly, like $2, like I said. So, I bought that and then upgraded it for free. I'm like,
Yep.
"Well, I'm not gonna buy the more expensive one." Right? So, yeah. Even though it was only $2. And I don't know if that's an oversight because, yeah, like I said, in the US, it is the same price.
Yep.
Not sure what happened there, but anyway, that's okay. Yeah, so check out the sale. Let us know, listeners, if you have picked up anything or you're saving something for the holidays. Well, that's the thing we did mention for the holidays. Metroid Prime 4, of course, is one that you've been saving for Christmas, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That and the new Hyrule Warriors game.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. You haven't played
I
that. Oh my gosh, how
yeah.
exciting for you.
Hopefully we'll be getting both. Uh,
Nice. Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool. That's very
But
cool.
they're not. It's not like a Christmas tradition or anything. In fact, well,
No.
that's my tradition. Whatever game I get on Christmas Day is the game how I spend my Christmas day.
Yep. Nice. That'll be so cool. I think that'll be a great way to spend the day. I need to get back into Horror Warriors as well. I did play it, when it launched. I've got it physically. I just haven't given it a lot of love recently just because I've been playing a lot of well, I played Metroid Prime 4, for example. I was playing Pokemon and have been continuing to play that with the DLC, but definitely wanna get back into Horror Warriors, so that will be on my Christmas to-do list as well, I think. So, yes, for sure, because it's a great game. Let's move on to some more news if you're happy with the sales stuff, if you're good with that.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go on.
Okay. So there's an article here about smaller Switch 2 cards coming potentially, which is interesting. Nintendo has a game key card alternative in the works with smaller Switch 2 cards. This is from well, what's ININ? INN. What is INN? Are they a manufacturer?
They are a game publisher.
Mhm. Okay.
We've reviewed quite a few of their games, and mostly digital, but they've had some physical releases. So
Mm.
they apparently confirmed this with one of their releases, according to the story that we found over at Nintendo Life. But yeah, because that was one of the eventual reasons that came out why people were doing game key cards is because they were
Mm.
being forced to like put the games on 64 gig carts
Mhm.
when the game may not have required that, and the
Mhm.
64 gig cards were quite expensive.
Yeah, right, okay.
Um,
Makes sense.
so there were rumors going around that Nintendo is going to introduce 16 and 32 gig cartridge options, which would be much less expensive and therefore would make it more likely that people putting out physical releases and could fit them on a 16 gig card or a 32 gig card were more likely to do it instead of paying for the space they don't need.
Well, that is a great
Um,
idea. Hmm.
Yeah, it's weird to me that it's an idea, like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
should have been from the very start, right? Like,
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, so, hopefully this comes to pass, and then that will finally put to rest some of the issues that, we'll start getting more games on actual, uh, cards instead of, just having to go with the game key card or,
Yeah.
digital releases.
That is very good news. I hope that is true, and that will make a lot of people happy, like you said. Yeah. Honestly, even I don't like getting game key cards. Like, I have a few. What is it? Hogwarts Legacy, I think. Star Wars Outlaws, I believe, was also a game key card, which is fine. But yeah, it's just not the same. And even though it's a card and you put it in and it plays like a card, it doesn't feel quite the same
Yeah.
as yeah the full game on card situation. So yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
and you're still wasting your storage space, doing it
Yes.
that way, even though you've got something in. So I don't think it was a good solution, except, like people have pointed out that you can, with the game key card, resell it because anybody with the key and the card is able to play the game. So you can pass that
Yes.
along, whereas you can't digital.
That is true.
There
Mhm.
was some speculation where people were wondering if this is going to reduce the cost of games too, because if you don't have to pay as much for the card, then you can reduce the price of your game. um, Being the
Mhm.
pessimist that I tend to be with those kind of things. So we'll say realist. I don't think anybody's going to lower the cost of anything once they've gotten you accustomed to paying a certain price for a game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way this is going to reduce the cost of games. It's just going to make it more likely that you'll be able to get an actual physical copy of the game.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's, those of us who like to collect games and put boxes on the shelves, I'm more likely to do it if the game is actually in the box.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Me too, definitely. The only reason I got those 2 I mean, I do like physical games where possible as well. Star Wars Outlaws and, what was the other one I just said? Hogwarts Legacy. They were just, cheaper physically, honestly. That's why I bought them. I would have just downloaded them otherwise since it's virtually the same thing, but yeah. Yeah, I do like to have the case, and they do look nice on the shelf, of course. But yeah, there is that feeling.
Yeah, and, one other thing about this I just thought of too is that there were quite a few games that have been released recently or are coming out soon, where the digital version's available now, and they said that the physical version would be available in, like, April or May or June of
Mm.
2026.
Mhm.
I didn't understand why there was such a disconnect, but maybe that's the case. Maybe they knew this was coming, and they're waiting for the smaller cards to become available, and then they will make it the physical version at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be true. Hopefully that is true.
Again, that's just me speculating. I've got no reason to believe that other than it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it does make sense. I mean, what would the other reason be for the delay, really? I mean, manufacturing costs or however long there's a pipeline of games that they're pushing out, but everyone else can do it on the day, so
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a solid theory, I would say. Yeah, very interesting. Thank you for that. Yeah, as I said, listeners, let us know what your thoughts are on that. If you are a Game Key card uh, aficionado or not, if you're against them, if you have many, if that would make you more likely to buy games, of course. And speaking of, I guess, game sizes and Game Key cards, Final Fantasy VII Remake will be a Game Key card when that comes out in January, and that's a 90 gigabyte game apparently. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's massive. So during the week, you may or may not have heard that the Final Fantasy VII Remake game, which is coming to Switch 2 in January, sorry. For some reason, I find it really hard to say Final Fantasy VII Remake. It seems like a mouthful, but it's not really. Anyway,
It's unwieldy.
it's yeah, a little bit, yeah. Square Enix dropped a surprise sorry, I wrote trailer, a demo during the week. So there is a Switch 2 demo online now, you can download and play it. I I did this. I actually downloaded it straight away and jumped in and tried it. I have thoughts. Well, okay, let me start by saying there's a long history with Final Fantasy and Nintendo, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I've always been a little like because this was the game that was supposedly coming to the Super Nintendo, and they ended up going to the PlayStation. So this is the one where Square Enix and I guess Nintendo kind of parted ways a little bit. So I've always had a bit of resentment for that. I've never played Final Fantasy VII, nor have I played any Final Fantasy game that was on PlayStation because I was more or less boycotting it, and I'm a Nintendo person. But I tried this demo, okay, and I know about the game. I know it's got a very, it's sort of well received and very highly praised, etc. I will say this game looks absolutely amazing on Switch 2. I played the demo. It's a pretty short demo. It runs maybe 45 minutes. It's kind of the first chapter, I suppose, of the game. You play as Cloud, and he's within a group of people, and anyone who's played the game will know, I guess, the plot already. It's, the original game, I think, is 97? I think 1997. I think it was around that time. So it's almost a 30-year-old game. But he's part of this kind of crew on a bit of a heist situation. He's a merc who's been hired to kind of, I guess, be a bit of a bodyguard to help them. They're breaking into a factory and exploding something. And there's a bit, they go through, there's a bit of stealth, there's a bit of fighting, a bit of action, and then there's a boss fight. And then you kind of have to escape really quickly. It's all very fun. It's all very fast. It happens, like I said, about 45 minutes. That's how long it took me. But it just looks so amazing, like really, really good. I was really impressed with the visuals of this game. So it's tempted me, to be honest, to get the full game when it comes out in January. So, and this is what prompted me to look at the physical release. It is getting a physical release, but it is a game key card. But also, it wouldn't fit onto a card anyway because it's 90 gigabytes. So that's, yeah. What would you do in that situation? You kind of have no choice, right?
Yeah, boy, unless they wanted to get an even more expensive card to put it on.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, they wouldn't do that. Digital's the only way.
Mhm. So I was looking more into it. You can pre-order it now through the eShop, or you can pre-order the physical too. But if you pre-order it on the eShop, you can play the original version of the game until 31st of January, apparently, which is interesting. I personally don't want to play the original. I want to play this new visually enhanced version because it looks so good. But that's a thing that's there. I guess if you're a fan of the original, that would be right up your alley. Like that would be something fans would be very interested in. I don't know why it's a limited time thing though. That
Yeah.
seems
Does
odd.
that mean you can play it until then, or you have to purchase it by then in order to play it?
I thought you could play it until then, unless I'm wrong about that. But
Yeah, I don't know.
that's what
That
I
just
thought. Yeah, which seemed odd to me, to be honest. And why would they make it limited? But that's the gist I got. Maybe it's like an extra download that like they did it with, what was it? What did they do it with? One of the Mario anniversaries, or that was just a limited run. Like they only printed so many of them. You know, I don't know.
yeah.
I thought there was an online something as well, like a not Tetris, something like one of those online games that you can play that had a limited lifespan. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up actually while we're talking to make sure I'm right. That is what I thought I was seeing when I read it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think, let's see, I'm looking at it because it says the digital deluxe edition content includes Final Fantasy VII, a ported version of the original game. It doesn't mention there that it's limited. But then at the very
Hmm.
bottom, they say the digital content items may be put on sale separately at a later date.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I wonder if you buy it by the 31st, you get both versions and then you can play them as you want. But after the 31st, the original version will not be part of this, and then they will possibly
Mm.
sell it separately down the road.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's probably that. Yes, I would
Yeah,
say.
it's
Yeah.
very confusing the way they wrote this out and completely separate. Like the two main items that you think should be together are listed on complete opposite ends of the eShop description. So
Yeah. Yeah, so interesting. So I guess if you pre-order it, it's like a bonus then, right?
yeah,
Yeah, if you pre-order it, or I guess purchase it before a certain time or something like that, then you get this extra deal, but then it'll be separately sold. Is that right? That's what you're
yep,
saying? Yeah, cool.
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and so, I mean, Final Fantasy VII is on the Switch. I think it came out in 2019, potentially, something like that, and that was not this remade version, though. This remade version has been out, on PlayStation 5 and Steam. It came out in 2021 and 2022, and so now it's coming to Switch 2 and I guess, other consoles as well. So that's kind of the history behind it. As I said, I haven't really given it a lot, but until now, until this demo came out, I haven't really followed it too closely, simply because I did have that bit of resentment towards Square Enix for ditching Nintendo back in the day. Did you have any thoughts on that whole thing, or Final Fantasy VII, or Final Fantasy in general? Like, is this something that interests you at all?
This one, I got in. Of course, I'm huge into this genre.
Mhm, mhm,
But I discovered it well after Final Fantasy had already left Nintendo.
mhm.
So most of these games I never even played until they started appearing on iOS, and I was playing them on my
Right.
iPad.
Mhm,
So although I understand their importance and how so many games I love were pretty inspired by these games, I was never really able to fully embrace the series. Because most of the games I were playing were just old retro things. I think I mentioned played Final Fantasy X and
mhm,
loved that. Um, it was more my style with the turn-based sort of actions instead of the real-time turn-based things of some of the games that I played.
mhm. Yeah.
But no, I'm not as big a fan of this series as I probably should be.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and this one seems, from the demo at least, it is, kind of, what do you call it? It's just action-based, it's not turn-based. So it's an action RPG where you're fighting, as you go kind of thing.
Mhm.
I did notice, that reminds me though, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Invalus Ivalice, whatever the word is, Chronicles, that came out relatively recently, that is also one of the specials that's on at the moment. So, because we did say that was a bit overpriced, didn't we? That one, I think, originally?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think for basically just a visual update on the previous game. What were they
Mm.
asking for? Yeah. Oh, it's not on sale here.
Oh, it's just Australia. Okay. In Australia,
Yeah,
it is on
it's
sale.
still
Yeah.
$50.
Okay. Well, it's 85 here, but then it's down to 68,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah. So, very interesting. Yeah, so, but I have to say I was swayed by this demo. It really did capture my attention, and like I said, it just looked fantastic. I cannot describe to you how wonderful it looked. It might be one of the best Switch 2 games I've seen. Like, it's that good. It's really nice. So I'm very interested to see more. I checked out the price. It's not too bad. I think it's 69, or I think the best I saw was 59 in Australia. So hopefully it's a bit cheaper in the US. I'm going to have a look into it and see if I can pick this one up, because I think it might be worth my time. I think maybe it's time to give it a go after all these years.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, let me know. Maybe if it gets a good enough review from you, then I'll hop on it and take a look
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. Very cool. Thank you for that. And yeah, as I said, let us know your thoughts on Final Fantasy VII. We have some pretty exciting news now from some Australian developers, and also games that I am a particular fan of. So I'm very excited to talk about these. So Team Cherry, who's based in Adelaide, they make Hollow Knight and Silksong, and they announced during the week that there is DLC coming to Silksong. The first batch of DLC, this game only came out, I think it was in late September, and this was the sequel to Hollow Knight, which was the big success, the big indie success from 2017. So 8 years in the making, kind of thing, for the sequel. Hollow Knight has been supported throughout its lifespan, and it's had plenty of DLC, which is all very well and good. And now Silksong's getting its own DLC, which is awesome. They don't have a date for it. They just said 2026. I don't know if that means, I'm trying to figure out whether Team Cherry is the type of developer who would announce something and it comes quickly or not. Because when they announced Silksong's release, it came out 2 weeks after that announcement. But we knew they were making it for many, many years. So it was almost a Metroid Prime 4 situation where everyone's like, where is this sequel? So yeah, I can't tell. But they did say 2026. The DLC is called Sea of Sorrow. There's not a whole lot of details, but we do know that we're going to get new areas, new bosses, new tools, and they've said more as well. There's a nautical theme with this. So the Sea of Sorrow kind of thing has a nautical theme to it. And I believe it's free for all players who own the original game, which is nice. And that's tends to be what they do with this series. The other exciting news is that Hollow Knight is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which is pretty cool. And no new content, I don't believe, with this, but higher frame rates, higher resolutions, and they've said many additional graphical effects. So again, this is coming in 2026. It's free. If you've got the Switch 1 edition, you can upgrade it for free. They've also said they're doing some bug fixes for the Steam version right now. So if you're a Steam player, you can enjoy that right now. Silksong looks so nice. It's really, really good. Like we've said, even was it last week or the week before? No, last week I think when we are talking about Mega Man, the new Mega Man, and how
Mhm.
visually great that looks, and how we love when they do that, especially with 2D platformers, because they can look flat, or they can make them look really, really pop, really, really nice and colorful and bright. And the backdrops in the foreground, I mean, they Team Cherry has just done an amazing job with both of these games. I can't wait to see how Hollow Knight will look on the Switch too, because it already looks really good. Like as a Switch One game, it just looks terrific. I don't have any qualms about it at all. So I'm very excited to see how much better it will look on Switch 2, given that I've seen and played Silksong and how great that looks. So it's very exciting for me, and I guess for other fans of these games. I know you have not played them, but maybe one day you will.
It would be a it would be a hard sell, not because I don't think the game would be fun, but because, I'm just as I mentioned, just not good at that kinda game.
It's tricky. It's a tricky
Yeah.
genre. It's a Metroidvania, pretty pure in its source there. Like, it's about exploration. There's a sprawling map that unfolds as you
Mhm.
get further and further. But the boss fights, and we've talked about this on the show before, the fights are pretty hard. Like, there are some pretty, yeah, decent boss fights that can get pretty, almost not quite to that frustrating level. But I have we said this when we had Josh on the show a few weeks ago. He put down the controller. I've done that before. I put down the controller. I've had to walk away. I've had to come back the next day. The good thing is I have wanted to keep going, so I have had that incentive. But yeah, it is pretty hard, and I will say Silk Song for me is even harder. So I've found that more frustrating than Hollow Knight, but it is very well made and very well developed, and it looks amazing. So yeah, I look forward to that in 2026. The other Australian developer who made an announcement during the week is the Massive Monster, who make Cult of the Lamb. We knew they had DLC coming in 2026, which was called Woolhaven, and now we have a release date, which is the 22nd of January 2026. So basically a month away, actually. And this is the first. They've had a lot of DLC over the last couple of years since the game came out. They've supported this game very well. It's all been free. This is a paid, it's more of an expansion than a DLC. So it is quite a big upgrade. So there is a payment required for this one. According to their release trailer that they did, they kind of did a Christmas special where the team was talking about different aspects of the game. It's quite funny. Um, you will have to finish the game to play this expansion, so that's part of it. And I don't think there was a price at this point, but we'll find out that when it happens. It looks like you have a whole lot more to do though. So this is that game where if you haven't played it, and I think this was on sale this week, at least in Australia. So check this one out too if you haven't. It is a game where you have it's very cute, but also very dark. So it's like Animal Crossing crossed with, I don't know, something. What's a dark game that I could say this crossed is crossed with? It's like if yeah. Do you have an
See,
example?
I can't think of a game that's dark in the way that this game is dark,
Yeah.
so I don't have a comparison.
Yeah, it's like if Animal Crossing was just kind of evil, I suppose. It's not like it's an
Yeah.
evil game. It's not that. It is a cult, of course, and there are demons and gods and things like that. It's not, but it's about you're the lamb and you are raising this cult. And cult is a very strong term and a bad word in reality, of course. But these little creatures that come into your cult, they, you look after them, you feed them, you give them things to do. They have little jobs. It's kind of sweet in a way, but it is, yeah, it's also very dark. There's this kind of sim element to it, and then there is a roguelike element to it where you're going through dungeons, you're battling creatures, there's boss fights, etc. Now there are both of these are new in the expansion. There's lots to do in your little cult in your little area, your sim area. There's I guess a frozen element to it. That's why it's called Woolhaven, which doesn't sound frozen, but it looks like sheep's wool. Basically, it's white. It's snow. It's ice. So your little team members can freeze. You need to keep them warm. You can feed them, but there's no crops, so you have to get around that kind of thing. So there's a whole lot of new things. So you can rear animals now as well. There's this kind of big yak-like creatures that you can rear. And then there's this new roguelike element where there's more battles to do. There's new creatures. There's this wolf. I guess the new kind of bad guy is this big bad wolf kind of thing. He's got little wolf minions who attack you, so there's a lot to do there. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes when it comes out in January. But that was, yeah, another big announcement of the week. Any thoughts on that one? Because I know you haven't played this one.
Nope, I think I'll have to let you be the expert on
Okay.
that one.
Sure.
But
Happy
I'm
to.
more likely to play that than I am like Silksong.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. It is, it's not as hard as Silksong. Yeah, it's fun. It is really fun. It's and it is two-player. That was one of the updates they did. I think it was this year, earlier this year. They've added a co-op element, and that was a free upgrade, so you can play, you can couch co-op with someone, which is really, really cool, really neat. Now, before we get to Kirk's corner, let's have a quick revisit of Metro Prime 4. First of all, I did want to say that my review is finally up on the website, so you can check that out if you like. I was a little hesitant about posting it because it is quite a positive review. We know there's been a lot of mixed feelings on this game, quite a few naysayers. So, yeah, I was a little nervous about that, but we had a good reception. So, thank you to those people who commented and liked that post. Check the review out. I'll put it into the YouTube description as well. I did want to talk a little bit about the sales, and I don't think it's going to be a surprise that it hasn't sold particularly well in Japan because I think the series generally doesn't do well in Japan. Is that your understanding?
I don't know if I have an understanding of how
Okay.
it's done. It wouldn't surprise me because I don't think that it's like it's not a game that a lot of Nintendo people fans think
Mm,
of straight
mm.
off, and it's not the type of game that brings people to Nintendo. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lesser selling game.
Yeah, yeah. So it seems, I guess, what? So would you say it's more of a niche kind of game slash audience? Do you think
I think bigger than niche.
bigger than niche? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not Mario Kart.
True. Yes. It doesn't have that, I guess, global appeal simply
Yeah.
because of the genre that it is. It has its fans, of course. We know it's definitely got its own fan base. I hope it's done well enough. Like, obviously, they wouldn't project Mario Kart like sales, right? They're not going to project millions and millions of sales in the first month because it's not Mario Kart. Do you think this was the right time to release it? Do you think sales might pick up over the Christmas holiday period for this one?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I also think that sales, like you mentioned, these are the Japanese numbers. I would like to see
Mm.
how well it's doing in other markets where
Mhm.
it might be a little more popular.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. I don't have that data, unfortunately. I did have a quick look. I did see that it dropped out of the top 10 in the UK, but I don't think that's necessarily a surprise either. I don't think Nintendo generally does all that well in the UK regardless. US would be where it's probably going to be the most popular, I would say. So would love to see that data, but I don't have access to that. So, yeah. And these Japan sales are download sales, I believe, as well. So, it was in the top. I think it debuted at number 6, and this is for all consoles, not just Switch or Switch 2. As in, what happens is Japan releases their sales data every week, which is really neat, and it's across every platform, across every console. Switch 2 and Switch 1 constantly in the top 10. Like Mario Kart is number 1 at the moment, and it has been for the last couple of weeks. Pokemon, number 2 and number 3 because of Switch and Switch 2 versions. And there's DLC for that. So and Pokemon is huge in Japan, as we know. So those two games constantly in the top 5 or 10, but at the moment, number 1 and 2. Metro Prime 4 debuted at number 6 in its first week, and then it dropped out of the top 10 in its second week. But again, that's, as we're saying, that doesn't mean it's not doing well. It's just it doesn't do well in Japan. So I don't know what they were hoping to get in terms of sales in Japan. So yeah, it's just interesting to see how something, and I guess it kind of explains why these games take as long as they do and why we get a new Mario Kart more often than a new Metroid
yeah.
because yeah, it has that bigger appeal. Um, what does that mean for the series going forward? I don't know yet, and I guess we can't really know yet. Will we have to wait another 18 years for another release? I mean, that's a long time. I can't believe it's been 18 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be waiting that long. I think now that we've got the engine done
Mm, mhm.
and they've made the updates to it that they want to make to, bring it up to like a more of a modern gaming experience, then it'll be much easier to roll out a sequel or a Metroid Prime 5.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Still on the Switch 2. I expect that to happen before the Switch 2's life is over.
yes. Cool. I hope so too. I do. So yeah, let us know your thoughts on the sales and the game itself. Were you a fan? Do you agree with our review? Have you played it? Have you even played it? Are you going to play it? Are you waiting for it? Like Kirk is waiting for Christmas. So
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah, and
definitely want.
I
Yeah.
don't think your review, so you mentioned being hesitant to post it because it was a favorable review, which is so weird to consider, right? We're
Mm.
afraid of the backlash of liking a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, there are a lot of 90s and higher's on Metacritic, which joins
This is
yours
true.
there.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah.
and the vast majority of them are 80 or higher. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is a well-received game for the most part. I
That's
think the
true.
people who just didn't like it really didn't like it. It didn't click with them for some reason.
Mhm.
Didn't meet their expectations, so they're scoring it probably a little more harshly than they need to.
Yes.
But I don't want to speak for them, and I haven't read all these reviews, so maybe they did have like legitimate issues. But yeah,
Yeah.
people overall, it seems to be doing well.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That's true. I think the Metacritic score at the moment is 79 average based on 108 critic reviews. And yeah, there are plenty that are higher than 80. So we gave it 9 out of 10, which I think is a fair score. I just tried to be balanced about it, and I mentioned the linearity of it. It is a little linear in places, but I don't see that as a bad thing, honestly. And I can't go past the visuals and the audio and the design. Like, I just had a blast with this game, honestly. It is really well put together. It's really well made. I can't fault it for that. I know people didn't like certain aspects of it, and I tried to address them in my review as well. And like I said in my review, the expectations were just really high for a lot of people. And so it depends on your expectations and if they were met or not. And yeah, some people feel less, I guess, positive about it based on those expectations. So yeah, I I think it was a fair review. I hope people agree.
Oh, yeah,
So yeah.
I read it, I edited it, I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. The point is go out and enjoy the game because it really is worth it. It's a terrific game. And I love having objectives in a game. I don't really like getting lost and not knowing what to do. So for me, I just enjoyed knowing, okay, I have a goal. I have to get to this place. And as we said last week, I got lost several times. So I didn't feel that it was too linear at all. But yeah, for me, I enjoy that. It's not meant to be an open world game. Like, it's not Tears of the Kingdom. It's not meant to be that. And I think that's one of the things. If people wanted more of an open world experience, they're not going to get that. That's fine. It's not meant to be that. So yeah, look forward to your thoughts when you do get the game. Hopefully, in our next show, actually, you can probably talk to it.
Is it? Oh, yeah, I guess I
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Man, we're close to Christmas.
I know. Very close, very close. I'm excited to hear what you think. But let's move on to Kirk's Corner. What do you have for us this week?
I have a game for you this
Ooh,
week.
okay, cool.
This one just came out today as we record. It was released on the 19th of December. It's called
Mhm,
Nordic Ashes: The Complete Saga. I don't know enough about the game to know what's complete about it.
mhm.
Um, but this is a Vampire Survivors. Is that what that game's called? Kind of game, it looks like.
Yes, it does look like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's set. It's got a Nordic theme to it, as you can guess from the title, Nordic
Mhm.
Ashes. It's a Norse-inspired roguelite survivor that has been released for the PS5 and the Switch.
Cool.
It is available digitally and physically. There's a commemorative edition, a nice looking commemorative edition. Probably too late to get for someone for Christmas, but it's out there.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I don't know an awful lot about the gameplay. I just watched the video and I bring it up here because I want fans of Vampire Survivors to watch it too and look at it and say, "Yeah, I think this is my next entry."
Cool. Yeah. I feel like I don't know the series either. I wonder what makes it complete. But yeah, it definitely looks Vampire Survivors-ish.
Yeah,
And I love the graphics. It's sort of a colorful, retro almost. Looks like there's lots of upgrades. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
pathways.
it looks retro, like it looks cartoony in a way,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
retro, but not too heavily pixelated
No,
retro.
yes. No, not too
It
heavily.
definitely
Yeah.
has, yeah, kind of a modern look. But yes, there are 10 levels that you can fight across. Oh, sorry, nine maps,
Mhm,
each inspired by one of the realms of Norse mythology.
mhm,
There are over 10 characters that you could play as. And as you can see in the screenshots, there are an awful lot of custom upgrades you can, use to get the characters pretty much fighting the way you want to.
mhm.
Um, I wonder if by complete saga it does say that it's a complete game with DLC expansions.
Ah, yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
so that's probably what it is. But again, I don't know that it was available previously on a Nintendo system.
Yeah, maybe not actually. Yeah, I don't know. And that's part of the uh, not charm exactly, but part of what makes Vampire Survivors so fun as well, like the action and the the hordes of enemies, of course, but also the upgrades, like you mentioned. Like that's very much part of Vampire Survivors as
Mhm.
well. So that seems to be complete in this one too. Like just picking different weapons. Like some of these weapons, the dude's got like fireballs around him, all these cool swords that sort of circle him. Um, yeah, I think that's really neat, and that's one of the really fun aspects. Trying to just build yourself up and try out all the combinations because usually you can combine different weapons and abilities and sort of spells if there's magic in there as well. Yeah, it looks pretty fun.
Do you find when you're playing games like this, and I may have asked this before, do you tend to choose your weapons or your armor or your upgrades in a way that accentuates what you're already doing well or to compensate for your shortcomings?
Ooh, well, that's a good question. Like level up what I have. Um, that is a really good question. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. I suppose try to level up what I have if it's a good weapon, for example, like in Vampire Survivors, there's lightning bolts, or there's this one move that wipes out everything on the screen, and the higher leveled up that is, the more often that happens, and that's a really good one to level up because when you're surrounded by hordes of enemies, suddenly it's like Thanos snapping. It's like everyone disappears, and that really helps clear the room out. Of course, it fills immediately with more people, but it feels like you're and everyone turns into gems, which you're collecting to level up as well. So that helps you level up again more quickly. So maybe it depends on the weapon, but yeah, probably upgrade, I'd say.
Okay.
What about you?
I think a lot of it depends on the type of game that it
Mhm.
is, though, and also individual games handle it differently. There are some where I feel like as long as I'm just stocking up on health and
Mhm.
upgrades to my health, it doesn't matter that I'm not any good at fighting because
Mm,
I'll
mhm.
always be able to just drink a potion and,
Yeah,
and keep going.
yes. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I usually
I
yeah, sorry, you go.
say I'm bad at too much strategy in like leveling up certain aspects of things as opposed to I'm either going to all out attack or I'm going to be all defense. If there are a
Mhm.
lot of like enhancements that you could do to like slow down an enemy or level up this skill versus that, and I'm oversimplifying it in my description. I probably should be better at looking at grander strategies than just let's attack, um, or let's be a sponge and be able to take all kinds of damage and not die. So
Yeah, I think when it comes to RPGs, yeah, I probably do concentrate a little bit more on the, like, health aspects. Like, I'd rather have more health than more attack power because I feel like, yeah, I don't wanna die more often than I want to kill others more quickly. But I do try to balance it. Like, I will try to keep it like, I might give myself more health and then a little bit more attack and then more health. But yeah, I think I would tend to concentrate on health more than attack, generally speaking. Yeah. It's interesting. It's a good question. Let us know, listeners, what your preference is, if you have one. How do you upgrade your abilities in particularly in an RPG, I suppose, because that's where it happens the most. Yeah. Thank you, Kirk.
yep,
Very good
yep.
question.
And again, that game's out right now. It's not on sale. It's not part of the sale, but it is only $20. So if you're interested in this type of game, check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the trailer while we've been speaking about it, let's move on to the games that we're playing. And we have a nice little collection. I love this first one because A, you talked about it a few weeks ago on Kirk's Corner, and B, we've both been playing it. So we can both talk about it. But let's see, you can go first because it is technically your game that you're reviewing and that you brought up in Kirk's Corner a couple of weeks ago. So tell us about a game. What is it called again? A game about digging a
Uh,
hole.
yes, and actually, it's funny because I first started playing this. It was last night, before my football game that you and I discussed
Mhm.
earlier just started. Um, and as I was playing it, there were my family, my wife, and my oldest son were in the room. And at one point, both of them at the same time were like, "What are you playing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm playing a game about digging a hole." Um, which was true in many ways.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's just what this game is. It is really nothing more.
Mhm, mhm.
It starts out I can't remember, are you riding a bike or something? Anyway, you're moving through this town and this truck comes up and it drops off a sign on this billboard in a neighborhood, and you go up to it and it says there's this house for sale. It's only $10,000.
Yeah, cheap.
Um, yeah, really cheap. And apparently there's a treasure hidden in the backyard.
Mhm.
So there's your premise. You say, all right, I'm going to buy this house. And then you go into the back and you start digging a hole.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that's your game. You're digging a hole to try to get down there. There are a lot of things going on in the meantime. It starts out, you have a pretty bad shovel that is like battery powered.
Yes, yes.
It's a battery powered shovel, and you have to keep going back and recharging the battery, but that costs money.
Mhm,
So everything you find is you're digging rocks, iron, coal.
mhm.
You go to a computer and you sell it online, and then you get your money immediately, and then you go to your workbench and you can decide whether to apply it to get a bigger shovel to increase the battery span. My favorite, and I'm sure you've already done this too, is you can buy a jetpack.
Yes, yes.
Um, and the jetpack is really important.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
but then once you've done that, you go back and you dig as far as you can until your battery. Oh, and if your battery dies, the shovel explodes.
Yeah, yes.
So you cannot run out of battery.
No.
And using your jetpack to get back up out of the hole uses battery. So
Mhm.
you have to save enough to use your jetpack or dig in a way, I guess, where you can jump, like stairwells. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so that's it. And yeah, I was playing it, and my wife at one point was like, "Is this all that happens?" I'm like, "What do you?" No, I'm gonna find things.
Yeah.
And then and I got the first time when I was digging, it looks like you have some kind of sensor that goes off to let you know if there's something
Oh, yeah.
important. If you
Mhm.
point the right direction, it'll let you know you're digging the right way.
Yes.
Um,
I found some
but yeah,
money when I did that.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first thing you find other than rocks is a bag of cash, which
yeah.
isn't a lot, but, you got a long way to dig. The good stuff, of course, is gonna be deep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting. I got stuck. Speaking of the jetpack, I do have the jetpack. And this is speaking of upgrades because you have to choose whether to spend your money on upgrading your shovel,
Y
your
yeah.
battery, your storage, or your jetpack. I guess you can upgrade all of them, of course, but they cost a lot. And the more you upgrade them, the more they cost. I
Yep.
concentrated on my shovel, so I have like I don't know, I'm up to the $600 shovel, whatever that is. So,
Wow.
yeah. But I probably needed to spend more. And I didn't realize that the jetpack was using battery until I got stuck way, way down, like 20 meters down. Is yours in meters or feet, actually? Mine's in
I
meters. So,
I don't even think I paid attention. I
huh,
don't know.
yeah, it tells you how deep you are. But I
Yeah.
found as I got to a certain level of digging, that there were already holes dug further down, like there was a bit of a cavern kind of thing, and I fell down and I couldn't get back up and I died. So you lose your ore when you do that, and I had found some pretty cool stuff down there. I couldn't
Ha
jump out.
had you
I
been
did that.
saving your games?
Yes. Yes, I had.
Okay.
Yes, because you can
Yeah, because
save it at any point, which is good. So
they don't really specify that. There's
no.
just like an
No.
area where you can walk up to it and then it'll let you know, but,
Mhm.
yeah, a
Mhm.
little more guidance there would have been nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, in general, they don't really tell you how to play, do they?
No, yeah,
So
no, they don't. Yeah.
there's no hand-holding here, but it is fun. It's kind of, strangely relaxing, I suppose, just digging. There's no music or anything.
No, yeah.
You're digging, and so you're constantly going back and forth, especially at the start because your battery is so, underpowered and your storage is so limited. you can only get like 3 or 4 things or something. So you dig, 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 find 3 or 4 things, go back, sell them, dig, 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 and then you gotta upgrade your battery. And then, yeah, eventually it gets easier because you do upgrade all these items, of course.
Yep.
But yeah, like the stairs thing might have been a good idea. I tried to just dig a giant hole that I could easily jump out of, but you see bits of dirt floating in the air that you haven't dug that sort of you bump into.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like, and that's one of my I shouldn't say complaint, it's just one of the things about the game. It's often sometimes hard to tell where you can dig, although
mhm.
if you're pointing the shovel at a place where there's no dirt, even though you think there is, the shovel just won't work. It doesn't
Yes.
move.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
there's at least that, but it is hard to tell, like, and the dirt, although I guess, it's a since it's an electronic shovel, which kinda just it's more like a jackhammer. It just
Yeah,
moves back
yeah.
and forth. So it's
Uh-huh.
not like you're shoveling the dirt up out of the hole, which is good too because the dirt just disappears,
It does,
but
yeah, yeah.
smashing it into nothingness.
Yeah. Well, apparently, because the next upgrade for my shovel will be a drill, I think I saw. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you've got that
Oh,
already, but yeah.
no,
No.
no, I did see. I haven't bought any dynamite yet.
Yeah,
I know you can buy
I
explosives.
was curious about that too. I think I might need to do that to get rid of all the little bits of dirt just floating
Okay.
around maybe.
And there's like a light. I bought the light because I thought it would be handy, but I haven't had a need for it yet. I don't know
I wasn't
when
sure. I
the
haven't
need
bought it
comes
yet
up.
either because I didn't think I needed it yet. I thought maybe it would become nighttime at some point, but it's not. I guess when you get further down, it must be darker because there's no
Yeah.
sunlight, right? So, yeah, I haven't bought that yet. It's interesting. Yeah, I'll be very curious about your review. I found there's a few little glitches. Like sometimes I'll just move randomly. Like, did you have that
Oh,
issue?
no, I didn't have that.
Yeah. It's fine though. Like it looks fine, like it's neat, it's colorful. I mean, it does what it says right on the box. Like it's a game about digging hole. I have to say, when I went to download this, um, and it's on special, I think it's 10% off because it just came out, right? So it's a very cheap game. How much is it in the US? Like $5, $4, something like that. It's pretty cheap.
I don't have it up right now. Let me look at that.
Yeah. Well, when I was looking at the game, I couldn't remember the name of it, even though it's a game about digging a hole. I couldn't remember. I typed into the eShop search, I typed like digging or hole or something. And I was surprised how many games there are about digging a hole. There's like hole digging simulator and like digging a hole 2025 or something. There's like 5 or 10 different games about digging. I'm like, huh, this is a whole subgenre in itself. Like this is a thing. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and while I was playing it, oh, by the way, it's $5 in the US, currently on sale for 4.50. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
10% off,
Yeah.
50 cents off. While I was playing it, Sam kept telling me this is a Roblox game. I was like, "Do you mean like it literally is a game in Roblox, or there are just things like this in Roblox?" He says, "No, there are a lot of games like this in
Yeah.
Roblox."
Okay. That
I
doesn't
said, "All right,
surprise
well, I
me.
guess that makes sense."
Yeah. It did also remind me a little bit of Donkey Kong Bonanza, of course, because that game is all about
But,
digging as well. That one works a lot better, but, it's a first party game with Donkey Kong. The digging mechanics are fantastic. Not to say that's bad. This game is very simple, and I had a bit of fun with it. I don't know how much more fun I'll have with it. Like I said, I'm here interested to hear your thoughts, your review thoughts when it happens, but hey, it was a $5 game. So,
yeah.
and Hayden, my son, played it for a bit as well. So he played it and then I played it. So I feel like for $5, I think we got our money's worth. And I might still go back because I'm kind of curious to see what's down there. Um, and I spent way more time on it than I thought I would. So after what I do is on Fridays after work, I play games because the podcast for me is Saturday morning. So Friday night is like I need to play these games to talk about on the show. And the first thing I did was play Final Fantasy VII demo, got that done. Then I jumped straight into digging a hole, and I'm like, I'm going to play this game, and I can talk about it with Kirk. And I spent, I don't even know, maybe an hour digging. So it was
Well,
longer
if
than
you
I thought. So
yeah,
yeah.
if you spend an hour, then from what I've seen in the press release that I have, and you're about halfway done.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's it's a well, they said you could complete it in about 3 hours.
Yeah, okay.
That usually means that people are going to be able to push through it in two, and anyone who's like new to it and trying to figure things out could end up spending 4 or 5.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, but in a way, I mean, it's a $5 game, so that's perfect.
Mhm.
And the one thing I do like about it too is as you get deeper, like they do a good job of slowly introducing new things,
Mhm.
new abilities, stuff that could become pretty boring very quickly. you're able to finish it in a more efficient manner
Yeah.
as you get your upgrades and move along. So they do keep things moving instead of it, just being a very repetitious,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
Well, I hope
laborious journey to the center of the earth.
yeah, I hope the team is happy with our we've probably spent more time talking about this than anyone else, so I hope they I hope they're happy, but we do appreciate the code, so I guess that's cool. Let us know, listeners, if you're playing a game about digging a hole or you have other hole digging game recommendations, because I saw quite a few there. Uh,
Who knew that such a genre existed?
I know, I know. I do want to talk quickly about Red Dead Redemption. I mentioned before that it was on sale. It's a game I've had it on my wish list for a little while. Obviously, I've heard about this game. I even played it at a friend's house many years ago on his Xbox something. He was very like, "This game is great." I've heard good things, of course. I decided to bite the bullet and buy it because it was on sale, and I got the Switch. I got the Switch version and upgraded it. I will say the upgrade was super quick. Like the Switch One game took maybe 25 minutes to download while I was playing. I think I was playing Pokemon or something, and it downloaded in the background. Then I downloaded the Switch 2 upgrade, the free upgrade, and it was like instant. So I'm like, how much upgrading did they do? I don't know. It was very quick. Like, should I have just downloaded the Switch 2 version? Is that better? I don't know. Anyway, I've only spent very little time in this game, but you know, played the first kind of scene or chapter, or whatever you want to call it, where you introduce the characters. I will say it plays like a movie, at least initially. There's heaps of cutscenes. It's very interesting. You're on a train. You're going to this place. You confront this person. You kind of get shot. You wake up in this little town. Someone helping you, like a lady's farm hand or whatever. I don't know what she is. She's helping you recover, and then you help her. By patrolling the area and shooting rabbits and whatnot. I'm not sure what's going to happen next, but it's really pretty cool. Like, if you like westerns, I've never really played a western game before, that's for sure. I don't mind western movies. I don't know if I love them, but I certainly liked Yellowstone. So if that's a western, and the spin-offs. But it looks really neat. It looks pretty good. I would say it doesn't look as good as Final Fantasy VII, but it is also an older game that hasn't been remade. It's just been upgraded, I think. So maybe it's an unfair comparison. But I will say some scenes do look quite fantastic, actually. Like some of the nighttime scenes with the moon. Some of the cutscenes look pretty good. The voice acting is really good. There's lots of that. Yeah, so I'm happy with my purchase, especially at a discounted price. But yeah, it is one of those kind of games that I've just always meant to get around to playing. And you have not tried this before, have you? I don't think.
No,
No,
no, this is the one that a friend bought for
that's
me,
right.
for PlayStation, for
Yeah.
PS3.
Hmm.
4? PS4? I don't know,
I
but I
don't know.
haven't done it yet. It's in my basement ready to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, I'm not reviewing this, it's a bit of a game for fun. Like, well, the other reason why I decided to do it now is because the Switch 2 edition is relatively new. I think that only came out a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's relevant in that sense. The Switch 2 edition is available now. Yeah, I've certainly had no issues. You ride a horse around. The horse riding is pretty easy. One thing I will say I love, and people who've played the game will know this already, of course, but when you're at least in the early stages, there's a couple of times when you're riding a horse with someone else who's leading you somewhere. And it's like, when you're riding a vehicle or a horse, sometimes it's a bit cumbersome to get the speed. You might overtake them accidentally, or you fall behind. You just
Yeah,
hold the B button, and it will keep pace with the person you're following. It's like, this
good.
is so, yeah, so good, so easy. I don't have to do anything. I have to steer a little bit, but even steering is pretty easy as well. And there's this really cool thing I just discovered last night because I'm shooting the rabbits, like I said. Then there's these coyotes that pop out, and you have to get them before they get the chickens. You're in this kind of farm homestead situation, and you can press a button. I think it was ZL and the right stick or something. You press it, and it enters this kind of slow motion mode, which makes shooting, especially from a horse, a lot easier. Like, I was shooting those coyotes, and it was it was satisfying. And yeah, I mean, it's a bit violent. I think it might be MA rated in Australia, like 15 plus potentially. Not 100% sure of that, but yeah, there's definitely a bit of blood, and I haven't shot any humans yet, so I'm not looking necessarily forward to that. But we'll see how we go. Yeah, pretty fun. Yeah, I can recommend this one for sure. Let's move on to Kirk again. And what's your next game to discuss?
Oh, it's another big one. But I don't have much to discuss today because we just got the code for it.
Ooh,
So I'll
okay.
be reviewing this and working on it and downloading it today. But the good news for everyone is that if you are interested in The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon,
Mhm.
which is the latest in the ever confusing and massively expansive Legend of Heroes series, a demo is available today.
Nice.
So you could go in now. I'll point out the demo, although the game is coming out for the Switch and the Switch 2, separate versions. The demo is available for Switch only.
Okay.
Don't know why, but
Mhm.
you could start there and run your progress. And I'm assuming transfer from the Switch to the Switch 2 if you get that version when it's released. It comes out January 15th. I will start it tonight and let you
Nice.
know next week how I feel about it. This is the first in what will be the final chapter of the Legend of Heroes series, which, as I mentioned, goes all the way back to the Switch and Trails of Cold Steel
Mm.
3.
Mhm.
I think was the first one. Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 have yet to come to a Switch device, but there are so many different chapters and so many different settings and so many different characters that it's, just hop in at some point. I'm done making recommendations on where to start.
Yeah.
If it has a 1 or doesn't have a 2, 3, or 4, feel free to go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Pick it up because the new ones that come out are kind of like pulling characters in from all the series, and this
Mm.
apparently is the first step in, I don't know if it's a trilogy, that will tie this whole thing together. So,
And what happens after they finish it then? Are they done with it, or is it just they're done with
I I'm
this?
yeah, I'm assuming that they will keep these kind of games going and just give us a whole new universe, with a brand new set of characters and no connection to this at all.
Right.
But who
Okay.
knows? They
Yeah.
they say it's the last, but if it's doing well, then who knows what will happen.
How would you compare this to something like Persona, like the Persona series? Is it similar
These
or?
are more true, straight JRPGs.
Mhm.
There's not a lot. There is some social interaction, and there are mini games that you could play. Those godforsaken card games that they got to put in all these things.
Yeah, what is with that?
They just don't want to deal with. You get to fish, but they're very traditionally melodramatic stories. The characters are young. It used to be all turn-based battles, but these are the ones where they've done something clever in that as you're going through the overworld, you could go into battles and fight them like action oriented. So you could get through them faster. And then, depending on what happens, if you're losing or if they attack you a certain way, it'll then shove you into the turn based mode where you need to take a little more time. You can figure things out and better use each character's abilities. They're constantly shuffling characters about in this that you can play with. So you're always leveling up different people. Um, and of course, when you're in a boss battle, then it's always turn based. There's no action
Mm.
element or real time action for the boss battles.
Mhm. Yeah.
But just really crazy and often funny, like stories. A lot of the characters are really over the top.
Yeah.
So it's, I think I've said this before, it's about as J as a JRPG can get.
Right. Yeah, it puts the J in JRPG. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a picture of a rocket there, and I'm like, "I wonder what's happening there." Hmm.
Yeah, this is the first one where we're going to go up into outer space, I guess.
Ooh. Yeah, cool.
That's what they mean by beyond the horizon, where we're
Mm.
blasting off.
Mhm. Yeah. Interesting. Very cool. Well, that will definitely keep you busy for the next few weeks.
Oh,
That's for
yeah,
sure.
well beyond that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, you've got a bit of a break, over Christmas, and
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully Metroid Prime 4 won't take you too long. That's not a huge game, like, that's not this game here that you're talking about, Legend of Heroes, I'm guessing that's, like, 50 or 100 hours or something, right?
Closer to 100,
Yeah.
yeah, I think probably anywhere from 90 to 120,
Wow.
I'm guessing,
Yeah, that's
because of all the different things you can do,
mhm.
and it also depends on how much of a completionist you are.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Cool. That's amazing. Well, I might give the demo a go just so I can say I've tried it. I do love my demos. I feel that, instant gratification of completing something even though it's only short, so
Yeah, and it does carry over like the prologue. These games tend to have an expansive, or I shouldn't say expansive, but a prologue that starts you off ahead of where you will actually start when the game begins in earnest. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They like give
Yeah.
you more that you don't have at the start to kind of like throw you in, and then they ease back and say, all right, well, now we're going to take our time and, let you work up to what you just saw.
Yeah, right. Cool. That was something I meant to mention actually with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. You can start, there's a couple of different options when you begin. There's, and I can't remember the term, sorry, but you can begin with a higher level as well. Like you can be a bit more, bit stronger. I suppose that's like an easier mode. You can do automatic fighting, so your character can actually attack without you attacking. You can still attack. You can still press the attack button and do the attacks yourself, but if you don't, they will not just stand there and get hurt. They will attack for you. Yeah, there's quite a few options like that, which I don't know if that's part of the original or not. I don't think it is, but yeah, I did think the being a bit higher level to begin with was kind of cool because if you don't want to struggle, if you want to make it a bit easy for yourself, that's kind of a nice way to do that, I suppose. Bit of a quality of life
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Very cool. Thank you, Kirk. I guess, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of the show, actually, doesn't it? Do you have anything else you'd
Yeah, I
like to
think so.
add before we do close things off for the week?
I don't think so. I will, I hope everybody gets what they want for the holidays and you get a
Yeah.
lot of great new games to play and keep yourself occupied.
Yeah, exactly. Have a great break. Of course, we are not taking a break. We will be back next week. We might take a break after that for a little bit, but we're back next week with our Game of the Year episode. So please
So,
look forward to that one. It's the big, I guess, one of the biggest episodes of the year where we get to talk about all of our favorite games from 2025. It's going to be so hard. How's your list going?
yeah, it'll be interesting to talk about this. I've got a lot of games that are kind of like all smashed into one spot,
hmm
and there's not one that really rises to the top.
Right. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I have a few contenders. I just don't know what my number one is going to be. Yeah, it's been a big year full of, lots of fun games. So it would be very interesting to see what comes out on top amongst the group. But yeah, stay tuned for that one. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Kirk, for joining me. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can head on over to Blue Sky and see what we're doing over there. You can also support us and get yourself a copy of the Pure Nintendo magazine by heading over to patreon.com/Pure Nintendo. We are working on our next issue and would look to get that out sometime in January. So stay tuned for more details on that. But until next week, thank you and game on, everybody. Bye.